Hello and welcome back to Off Harbor in Maine. To those of you listening for the first time, thanks for joining us. I'm Joel Covey, and I'm joined by my close friends each week to discuss Disney theme parks and more. This week, I'm joined by Beth.
It's me. Hi, guys.
Matt.
How's it going, everyone?
And Derick.
It's me also. Hi, guys.
So right now we're listening to Buddy Baker's Vacation Kingdom theme from 1972.
Yeah.
I mean, my co-hosts here don't know it, but
I'm jamming anyways.
Yeah, Beth's jamming out right now. It is oh so glorious. And even though it's not Disneyland based, I think it goes really well with today's topic. Just talking lounges and bars, and you just can't go wrong with Buddy Baker. So today, on episode 11, we'll be discussing our favorite Disneyland Resort bars. My mouth is already watering. So let's get right into it. What is everybody drinking tonight in our virtual tropical lanai? Beth?
Well, since we were talking our favorite Disneyland Resort bars, I went with my favorite Disneyland Resort cocktail, which is the Ginger Rogers from Carthay Circle.
Nice.
And for the amount of money that I spent on getting all the necessary ingredients and drink glasses, I could have probably bought, I can make myself like 15 of them for the price of 2. So
You better enjoy it.
Right, yeah.
I'm gonna like every
Touché.
day now is this drink for like the next 2 weeks.
It's delicious.
How about you, Matt?
I made myself a bootleg Moscow Mule.
How is it bootleg?
What makes
What?
it bootleg?
By bootleg, there's no ginger beer. It is.
Is it just vodka?
It's just a meal.
It's have you ever had Canada Dry Bold?
No, but you told me about it.
So it's like Canada Dry ginger ale, but it's like really, really, really gingery. So it reminds me of like a ginger beer. And it was on sale at work.
I may have to get this. I've never heard of it.
Is it
I'll look for
delicious?
It tastes good.
Cool.
Nice.
So
No copper mug there, though.
It's bootleg.
Nope.
He said.
It's a
it's room essentials.
Yeah. That is Target, right? Am I getting it right?
Yeah.
All right, I got one right. And Derick, what do you have?
I'm having a margarita tonight.
Simple.
Yeah, simple. Well, it has orange liqueur, so it's
Ooh.
actually pretty tasty. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm enjoying myself tonight. with it, so.
In Mexico.
In Mexico. See Coco behind me?
Yeah. Those that aren't watching the video version, he's in front of he turned his Zoom video to have Coco in the background.
And how about you, Joel?
Yeah, what about you, Joel?
Well, I decided to do wine tonight. I was just telling everybody I'm trying to not do beer for a month and a half or so, just because beer gets me so bloated, and I feel like I'm
It's
getting
so
a
bloaty.
bigger beer belly. So I decided I'll take a break from the beer. And today I'm having some wine. It's Pinot Noir. And I kind of chose this one perfectly just so Matt could make fun of me and roll his eyes. But it's the Dreaming Tree Pinot Noir, which is a collaboration between
He looks very excited
winemaker
about
Sean
it.
McKenzie and Dave Matthews.
Hey, you know what's funny about that is I actually just ordered cases of that for a customer at work.
Oh, really? It's a little overpriced, but it is good.
It's $15 if you buy 4 or more.
I think I got mine for $12.99. So,
Well,
So, also for those of you who don't or can't see, Joel's background is Main Street, and he tried to display his wine bottle for us, but it just disappeared into his flower bed. So that was pretty interesting.
and as we all know,
Unless I'm drunk.
I like to take photos of flowers. So it's one of my favorite photos of just in front of town hall and a bunch of daisies in kind
And
of the
2 trash
center
cans.
of town square.
Oh,
And
that's
the
your
trash
own
cans.
photo.
It's my
But
own photo.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know you didn't like the trash cans, but I thought they just kind of added that little bit of Disneyland. Like when you look back on
You
that years
know,
later,
you're
you'll
at Disneyland.
recognize those trash cans. Yeah,
It's very true.
The town hall behind you, city hall behind. will not
However, it's kind
tell
of
you.
ruined by those Mickey Mouse bunting things in the back.
It's a beautiful photo, Joel. You should just be proud of it.
I'll take the
Trash cans
bunting
don't.
even these days, right?
Yeah,
Well,
who can complain?
Yeah, true. Well, anyway, with that, hey, cheers.
Cheers
Cheers.
to episode 11.
So, hey, before we get into it, how about the Velocicoaster? Anybody else as into this as I am? I know Matt has to be. Matt's shaking his head.
I can't wait. I am super stoked.
For those that haven't seen, Universal Studios Islands of Adventure has started building. It's pretty much complete, at least the track portion. They're still building some rock work and other theming is going up, and they have yet to announce this attraction. And it
Crazy
is
to
looking
me.
sweet. I know Disney would never do something like this.
Insane to me, but wow.
And there's
Isn't
no
it
denying.
Transformers?
What?
What?
No, there's the Transformers one going up in what?
Beijing.
Beijing. Thank you. So Beijing Universal is getting the Transformers coaster, which has some similarities to this Velocicoaster.
It's actually a clone of Incredible Hulk.
Oh, is it?
Oh, really?
I thought you were going to say
I stand corrected.
Incredicoaster.
Thank you. Good
No.
thing Matt's here.
Yeah. Resident Universal expert.
Yeah. But it's just looking so good. I'm really excited because by the time I get back there, I still haven't been on Hagrid's. I haven't even been on Gringotts. Gringotts?
Gringotts.
Gringotts.
Wow.
Green Grub.
Fun fact, I went to Harry Potter World, or whatever you want to call it.
The Wizarding World of Harry
Wizarding
Potter.
World of Harry Potter. I went there before I saw any Harry Potter film. So now it was fun when I ended up watching Harry Potter because I'm like,
I've been there.
this is from the land.
It's like those people who saw Pirates of the Caribbean and then went on the attraction. Like,
Right.
They made a whole ride about the movie.
About Pirates of the Caribbean movie. So many people want to slap me right now. But
Well,
anyways,
I was gonna say hopefully in November it'll be not done, but at least will be somewhat complete, and then get some pretty good pictures.
yeah, that would be incredible if it was actually open. Obviously,
Yep.
it won't.
Oh
be.
yeah, I forgot you were going in November.
Mhm.
That's right.
Oh,
Matt's
yeah.
going to a strictly Universal trip, right?
Yep. First one ever.
That should be fun.
It's gonna be weird.
Being in Florida and not going to Disney World. Yeah.
Yeah, we might shoehorn
Yeah.
at least an evening at Disney Springs.
Nope, not allowed.
Oh, cop out.
Universal
Yeah, you
only,
can't do that.
can't do
Keep-
it.
You're already
Keep it-
dedicated.
Keep it straight up.
We have a rental car. We're gonna use it.
Oh no. Where are you staying again?
Cabana Bay.
Yeah. I
Nice.
can't wait to see photos of that from
Can't
you.
wait to hear about it. I mean, I've already heard so many good things about the hotel, but
I'm just excited to be going somewhere.
right? Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and you're finally able to make it to Florida.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it. Let's get into our favorite Disneyland Resort bars. This is a no-holds-barred discussion, except we are excluding Club 33 at Disneyland and its counterpart, 1901 at California Adventure. Any bar or lounge at the Disneyland Resort, Derick, no restaurant this time, is fair game.
Fine.
I feel like we already discussed this, yet somehow we have yet to talk about Disneyland bars or Disneyland Resort bars. It's really the number one thing we should have discussed, right? Should have been episode number 1.
It's the most dear to our hearts.
Did we miss it?
Yeah. So, okay, first we're going to start off with DCA or California Adventure, and then we'll head on over to the hotels. Okay, we are really just going to talk about most of them and maybe leave out a few like Sandbar at Paradise Pier Hotel. I know there's some Sandbar stands out there, but come on, man. So, okay. A bar or a lounge is that magical spot where you actually can have a moment to unwind in a park normally filled to the brim with people everywhere. It's that escape from the hustle and bustle where you get a chance to rest those feet, accept Oga's Cantina, and you can take a load off, sip your favorite concoction, and forget about your worries. When you're there with your friends and loved ones, it's even more memorable. These are our favorite spots that allow us to soak it all in and enjoy our time together. let's start things off with the parks. And we'll start off with none other than, this is the big one to start off the show with, Carthay Circle Lounge.
Going big right from the top.
Love it.
So real quick from the website, step back in time at this throwback venue that boasts distinct attention to detail, from unique glassware to drink-specific ice cubes. Enjoy craft beers, wine, and small plates before a debonair dinner at Carthay Circle Restaurant, or just relax and enjoy a cool cocktail between adventures. So that's really the embodiment of what this place is. It's especially great on any hot day or a cold evening to be able to go into this little lounge that has become very popular, right? And be able to get a drink and a true cocktail.
Just even saying the name Carthay Circle, I can immediately smell it. Like, it has a very distinct smell. And like, I can immediately just like picture myself walking through the doors, getting a blast of air conditioning and like smelling Carthay Circle Lounge. And I just really want to be experiencing that.
It's for the people who said that they love the Pirates of the Caribbean smell. They should make a candle, the Carthay Circle.
I would buy it.
That would be lovely.
I would buy it.
Let's be honest. I have had, and I think all of us, some pretty poor service at Carthay Circle Lounge. At least whenever I go, I feel like it takes a really long time to get somebody there to take my order.
It can be slow, but I always feel like they kind of make up for it. Like, I always feel once they get to your table, they're very attentive and very,
No, exactly.
kind.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah. Like, it takes them some time to get there, but once you get their attention,
then it turns into some good service.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I wonder if that's changed at all since they changed the seating configuration and added like the patio seating. I don't know if that like they added more.
I've been there
more
since,
people.
and I still had some
really
kind of slow service. Yeah, but yes, you're right. They did add the patio seating. They adjusted the configuration a little bit, and at least they have a few more areas to sit. They did do a short period with the lounge on that patio upstairs. It was very short-lived, and I wish they kept doing that, because it was that one patio that basically never got used for Carthay Circle. And they would take a back way up the stairs up to that lounge, and there was basically more bar seating up there. That would have been a nice spot.
The music that they play in there is so iconic. I had to like play it today, knowing that we were going to be talking about bars. If you go on Spotify, there's a whole playlist of it, and I just like listened to it today, and it's just so cool. When I was looking up about it, I didn't actually realize they actually found some of the manufacturers who did some of the lighting and stuff in the original Carthay. They actually had them create the lighting for inside. Yeah, they said that there was very few pictures of the inside of the Carthay, the original Carthay. It was a much darker type of feel, so they kind of lightened it up a little bit, but they definitely drew inspiration from the original, and as many manufacturers that they could find, they reached out to them and had them recreate replicas for inside.
Nice.
Awesome.
I did not know that. And the whole atmosphere is awesome, and it is very pleasant in there, especially on busy or hot days to kind of get away from everything. And you can get some great food, some good appetizers downstairs, including like duck confit empanadas.
I literally have that on I'm like, I've never eaten that, but that sounds delicious, and I put it on my notes too. Yeah,
there's a lot of, I would say, not typical park fare in there, which is really nice to see, and it's lasted a fair amount of time where they still continue to have stuff there that you wouldn't normally see in a theme park. So it's nice in this lounge to get it.
I feel like their cocktails there, they're definitely a more vintage feel and different from pretty much any other drink that you find in the park. I mean, you can get your regular, you can get your regular whatever, you can order whatever you want there, but their drink menu is definitely calls back to an early time in Hollywood, and it's a little bit more unique than a lot of the other lounges in the parks.
They're classy.
They're very classy and very
drinks,
classic.
Yeah, you're not getting the
Long
zombie.
Island.
Yeah, you're not getting,
Carthay Circle.
Exactly.
No.
You're getting your tequila daisy, your dill gin and tonic.
That's the best.
It's so good.
You get drunk on that.
Yeah, say hacker tip: when you get the dill gin and tonic, tell them you want the blue cheese olives thrown in too.
Yes, that's a good idea.
I love blue cheese.
And you can get all types of, like, there's the Carthay Manhattan, which comes with the Carthay Circle. For those that haven't been there, it's kind of known for its ice sphere. You have this special device in the bar there that you can kind of watch them make this ice sphere, and it's completely clear.
Let me just, I was going to say, so this is super random. Kind of went down the rabbit hole a couple days ago because I was trying to figure out ways to keep my hydro flask cool while I'm at work. So I started looking on Bed Bath & Beyond for like reusable ice sticks or ice trays, cubes that you can put inside a hydro flask. That ice sphere thing was on bedbathandbeyond.com. You know how much that thing cost?
How much?
$399.
The hell?
Okay, I guess I won't get one for my house.
Yeah.
I saw it and I saw it and I was like, that's that same thing they have at Carthay Circle on the bar. I'm like, I've watched them make those so many times, and I'm like, oh my god, that's why the drink is so expensive.
Yeah,
They have to pay for it.
Well,
Good
it's
segue.
memorable, that's for sure.
Yeah, the pricing there is definitely, it's pretty high. I mean, Carthay Old Fashioned is $17.50. You get a Scotch Mist, which is Walt's favorite drink, or I guess his drink of choice, which is Johnny Walker Black Label Scotch with lemon peel served over crushed ice, and that alone is $14.50. So these aren't cheap by any means. However, I think you get what you pay for, especially for a theme park setting.
Yeah, exactly. You're paying for this setting. I mean, I think you mentioned this earlier, Beth, that, like as you walk in there, you just feel like how unique it is in a theme park to get into the Carthay. I mean, I just remember going in there and feeling like I was spoiled, really, because you have those giant like bouquets of flowers, and everyone dressed as if they're waiting you in a theater or something like that. And so it's just a really cool feeling.
You definitely leave that theme park like setting, and you are transported to someplace that is truly classy. It's cool that you can just kind of step from that busy, hectic, kids screaming atmosphere, spoken to someone who has a screaming child, and just walk into this place that just, you literally feel relaxed, and you feel exactly as you said, a little bit spoiled.
Yeah.
With the screaming child.
With the yes,
Hopefully
screaming child.
not on
Been
every
there,
occasion.
done that, but
But I will say that, you guys are talking about the Manhattan. That is probably my favorite drink there. Aside from the ice sphere, I really love the Luxardo maraschino cherries. Like, I mean, I could just have a whole jar of those, right? I think of you every time, Beth.
I accidentally ordered 2 jars to make this drink, so now it's going in everything.
Nice.
Well, and like you were saying, like it's classy. Even just like you said, the presentation of the drinks alone is like, because like my favorite drink from there is the dill gin and tonic. But when they bring it to you, you get the small glass, which has the gin already in it with the ice cubes, and there's like a sprig of dill coming out of the glass, and they bring you the tonic water in a separate little jar, and
So you can adjust how you want it.
And that's, I mean,
it's classy.
Yeah. Above and beyond, right?
I'll just throw it on the table. Here you go.
Well, let's move on to our next one. I added on here just because I felt like it was fitting because of what it used to be, and it's the Alfresco Tasting Terrace, which is above the Mendocino Terrace, which is a wine bar and some beers there. But it's upstairs. It is actually no longer on the website, I notice. It's been removed. Still listed on the map, like physically, like it shows it's written out, but you can't click on anything. You can't pull up a menu or see any information about it. So it is interesting. It did become an AP lounge just before COVID, really.
Could you pull it up at that time? Like when it was AP only, could you still pull it up on the site, or did you even ever check?
Yes, you could still pull it up. You could still look up the menu beforehand, but now it's not there.
Interesting.
So now it's AP Lounge only, which is unfortunate because it was already starting to get really popular and kind of difficult to get to. Like, you didn't have to wait too long if there was people there, but it wasn't like a ton of people waiting. But
now it's got that exclusivity.
Yeah, so now it's impossible to get to, even if you're an annual pass holder. It kind of takes away the fun for me. I prefer,
too much of a hassle.
I liked it just being a quiet place. You went up there. It used to have great appetizers, and it was full bar for a little bit, and then it later went to just beer and wine. And I think with AP Lounge, it brought back the full bar, and that's when you started to be able to get some of the secret menu items that you could get at Cove Bar.
Yeah, I think that's the first place I ever had the Black Pearl was there.
Oh, you had it at
Mm-hmm.
Fresco's? Oh,
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
And I mean,
Well-
I used to only go up there just to look at Cars Land construction.
Right. It's a nice spot because a lot of people don't know it's there. And you're right. You can see you can do a lot of people watching, and you could watch all of Cars Land being built back when it was still under construction. And still a great spot. The ivy or whatever going across the trellis is really
Mhm.
grown in, so it now has shade. And it's a really kind of a fine establishment.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I do
It
miss,
really is
though,
beautiful.
Yeah, like, I was just gonna say I miss how it used to be kind of a hidden gem, so to speak, and when people didn't know it was there, and only we felt like we knew it was there. So going
Right.
up there, it was like we were getting away from the crowd, and it was just a really nice place to people watch, and you got really awesome views like with Cars Land. So
Yeah. And obviously there's going to be a lot of changes with Disneyland when it reopens, and hopefully that can make it. I have a feeling it won't reopen when the park reopens, but when things start to reopen and get back to 100% or at least some type of normalcy, hopefully it can reopen just as anybody can go, and I'll be excited to get back there. Moving on, we'll go kind of close by to the Cove Bar, which I'm a little confused. Maybe I missed the memo, but this is also not currently listed on the website. But I think it may also be known as the Lamplight Lounge upstairs seating area. Have you guys seen this
That's what I think.
happened?
That's what I think it is. Yeah.
The Cove Bar is no more.
I mean, to us,
Aw.
it'll always be Cove Bar in our hearts.
It's just silly because
near and dear.
even though it's the same structure, like if you're sitting in the extra seating area upstairs that they built not so long ago, I don't feel like it's the same establishment. But
Yeah.
sure, okay, it's a Lamplight Lounge upstairs. Has a different menu, same drinks of course, but it's a different menu for like some smaller appetizers and other types of food.
Well, I wonder if people were getting confused, thinking it was in fact two different places and trying to get through from the backside. I don't know.
But can you not still get
Wonderful.
through? You can still get through the backside, right?
Like to sit?
Yeah. To go into the Cove Bar area, quote unquote, Cove Bar area.
I think you still went to where you used to enter for Cove Bar along the boardwalk side, opposed to going in through the entrance. I could be mistaken, but I think you
No.
still got from the back area.
I think you do have to go through.
Last time I went there, I
Mhm.
did go through the regular old Cove Bar entrance. The last time I was there, which was, well, I don't know what it was, but it was
Yeah.
it was still the Lamplight Lounge.
Yeah. So maybe they changed the process, but either way, as you can see, it's a little misleading, a little confusing. But I did bring up the Cove Bar. It is the OG. It's the original gangsta to
Mhm.
DCA. And I think all of us have some great memories. We've talked about in the past when we were talking about old DCA. And I just have the memories of 3 people at the bar. And I noticed more recently, it started to die out, the popularity of it, since now you have Lamplight Lounge and so many other options, AP Lounge, that it seemed more feasible to just go up and sit at the Cove Bar or this lounge upstairs. And at least, hopefully, moving forward, it's another another area now that you can easily get to.
Without having to wait like that hour in line for a while.
Outside,
it was like,
yeah.
outside. It was crazy for a while there.
Yeah. And as I mentioned earlier, as they expanded the bar area because it was getting so busy, they made a whole nother it looked kind of temporary, but it's a permanent expanded area to sit. And what's nice there is at least you had more options, but at the end of the day, towards sunset, there was not really any shade, even though they had umbrellas. Where the sun sets behind Paradise Pier or Pixar Pier, the sun would just beam right off of you. And I remember always having a challenge if I'm going there during sunset, trying to get away from the sun. That's kind of one of the downsides to the area. But it is a great spot, has a good view, it kind of has a relaxing atmosphere.
The piggy wings are delicious.
Also known for their lobster nachos.
The lobster nachos. I'm a big
Which got
nacho fan,
downgraded.
but
Yeah.
they got downgraded?
Did it?
Yeah, I mean, this was a few years back,
Yeah, it went smaller a little bit, right?
right? And it had different cheese that they put on it.
Yeah.
for the
Well, I'm just
business
glad they
gourmet.
kept it overall, though.
Yeah, it got smaller and I think more expensive. But
Yeah, I think it did increase in price. I remember that.
And there is a large secret menu there. This was made, I think, when they did the secret menu, was really when artisanal cocktails were just really starting to boom. So I think these drinks are really just simple Long Island iced tea like drink, like the Fun Wheel drink that a lot of people know about. This was basically just sweet and sour cocktail mixer with fusion liquor, vodka and rum, club soda with blue curacao float, and it had a lemon lime whipped cream on top. If those familiar with it know, it had layered colors, give it the
It's a
color
very pretty
wheel.
drink.
It is beautiful. It's very Instagrammable and definitely proved popular.
It's
And
X-rated liqueur.
yes, it is. It's X-rated fusion liqueur.
Say it, Joel.
Say the whole thing.
Sorry. I think you can use any fusion liquor. You don't need to get the X-rated version.
What
Maybe
is
R.
fusion liqueur?
I have no idea. I was hoping somebody else would know what that was. I just know that bottle, the X-rated fusion. There's also, and I don't know if they were still making this up until the closure, but there was a drink called Earthquake.
Ugh.
Really? Anyway, it was vodka, gin, rum, and sweet and sour with blue curacao and Sprite. So basically Long Island iced tea and topped with 151 rum float.
Did you
In
have
fact-
that one,
Why is it an
Matthew?
earthquake?
I've had that, and it's like drinking gasoline.
Yeah. So
Oh.
it's known for being the most pungent, the strongest one, just sucking down alcohol. As we've discussed a little bit in the past, Cove Bar is a place where I've definitely drank too much.
I
I
wouldn't
think
know
we've
about
all
that.
been there.
I wouldn't know about that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Mhm.
Beth, how are the Mariachi Divas doing?
They're great. We're good friends.
What happened with the Mariachi Divas?
I will let Matt. I do not remember most of the story, so I will let Matt tell it.
Someone said
Did-
she
where-
had a cold,
I
and
did
the
have a
cold medicine was
Okay.
reacting with the liquor.
Oh,
Well, I don't know what happened.
were you hitting on the token blonde?
Yeah,
Oh.
where did they come in?
Oh no,
So,
no.
no.
No,
Beth,
no.
Beth came in.
I
Beth
came in,
rolled
I
in.
went out. So Matthew and I were there drinking. We had somebody buying us drinks. We don't know if they're buying them for me. We don't know if they're buying them for Matthew. Someone was buying us drinks.
So weird.
And also somebody that I worked with at my job had a second part-time job there. They were also there at the bar serving. They pour extra heavy-handed. Who knows?
Mhm.
Who knows? Anyways, what parade were you there to see? We were there to see.
We were there for it was like the second day of
yeah.
the Pixar play parade.
the Pixar play parade. That's right. And Matt was so excited.
I
to
was
see
so
it.
excited to see this damn parade.
And then we left the bar. We went to go sit to watch the parade, and that is the last thing that this person remembers.
All right.
I woke up in the hospital.
What?
Wow.
I didn't know this.
How do you not know this
Yeah,
story?
where have you
This was
been?
probably the time that we weren't hanging out much.
But I feel like Matt has told the story a million
No,
times.
I did not know you went to the hospital.
Oh,
Wow.
yes. Yeah, I went to the
I missed
hospital.
this.
hmm That's
no,
what
The story's just as good as the first
I
time.
was I was pretty drunk too.
Drunk as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so we went over there to wait for the parade, and literally as the parade's getting ready to kick off, here I am, so
He's so
excited.
excited for
So
Matthew.
excited. My one reason why I came to the park that day. And Beth is sitting there, as the cast members are going up and down the parade route, telling people to get off the parade route. This one, all over the parade route.
I'm so
I'm like,
sorry, cast members.
I thought you did over
This
the
is
mariachi.
fantastic. I feel stupid
I-
for not knowing
yeah.
this happened.
I'm so surprised you didn't know this.
I
Oh.
literally went from just completely trashed to just
He snapped
instantly
out of
sober.
it.
Yeah.
I had to sling her over my shoulder, dead weight, as I'm making sure she's done puking, because then if she pukes on me, I end up puking too. I take her all the way over to where the bathrooms are and the wharf, and she's sitting there throwing up again in front of the Chase ATM. And then
I don't remember.
yeah,
He could
so
be
then
lying
finally,
to me. I don't know.
we did have somebody else there with us at the time. I told them to wait with her. I ran over to first aid when it was behind the tortilla factory, and I let them know what was going on. They come out with the wheelchair. They're assessing her, and she's got her puke all over the place. Well, they finally just like slump her into this wheelchair, and they start wheeling her over there. Well, as she's doing it, the Mariachi Divas had just kicked off their show.
They do still have a very special place in my heart.
They kicked
Did
off
the
their
parade
show
start yet?
because I didn't get to see the parade. So they kicked it off, and it was between like the bread factory and the tortilla factory. They were playing on one side, and there's a crowd over here. There's the Mariachi Divas over here, and here's Beth's like rolling through the middle of them with the first day.
I
Those are the days.
I got to ride in an ambulance.
Podcast over. We don't need to talk about anything else. This is perfect ending. This is incredible.
And that's why Cove Bar is not my number one.
Hey, but
Makes sense.
like I said, my highlight was even though I didn't get to see Pixar play, I did get to ride in the front seat of an ambulance.
And he will always thank me for that. I do want to mention this was decades. Well, it was like 15 years ago. It was a long time ago.
Decade and a half.
A decade and a half
Centuries ago.
Very much have learned my lesson. And I did not go to work the next day. I felt like a car had like hit me. I did not go to work the next day. But the next day that I did go into work, my coworker that worked there, that was also at the bar, was like, "Oh, are you okay?"
Weren't you at the?
They knew what happened. They were like, "Are you okay?" And they were worried that they were going to get in trouble for over serving. And I told them, I was like, when I was at the doctor, I told them what I had to drink, or at the hospital, I was like, I told them what I had to drink, and they're like, that's it. Like, not that I wouldn't be like tipsy, but to be at that point. And I did tell them that I took cold medicine the day before, and they were like, that could be it. But maybe he overpoured, and that's why he was worried about it. Who knows? I don't know. But it was an adventure that I shall never remember. It's
a good slogan. Here's what's going to happen. This is the type of people that people online despise, because they talk about, this is why we can't sell alcohol in Disneyland.
I would have hated myself
people
too.
Like Beth.
Yeah. But
Oh, your fault, Beth.
I've learned my lesson, and I have never overdrank again, ever. Not even just at Disney.
Wow.
Ever.
Hey, but you know what, though? If anything, that whole thing proved you've got a friend in me.
That's true. That's true. And we're closer for it.
Unless it's all a lie.
We're closer for it.
I didn't get to see the Pixar play parade.
I made sure you had your fun.
Friendship.
Oh, that's dedication. Well, so despite how messy it was, though, the fact that you were able to do that in a Disney park, I think, is what actually made us all fans of DC in the first place, right?
True.
So there you go.
And no one went to jail. That's good.
Yes, that is good.
Yeah. Well, some other drinks then at Cove Bar. There's the Neverland tea. Beth mentioned the Black Pearl and Sideshow Novelty, which, how much more DCA 1.0 can you get? Sideshow Novel Tea. And Midway Martini. I think some of these are still available. I don't know if all those bartenders will still know if you ask them by name, but there's some of the secret menu items.
It's all about the zombie.
Yeah, can't go wrong with a zombie. And if you go downstairs, you have the Lamplight Lounge proper. I really think this bar is awesome. Besides the price, because everything is way overpriced.
Super expensive.
More so than I think the most of any of the other bars in the park or at Disneyland Resort. But we still haven't got a chance to hang out in that frickin' couch. There's that giant couch downstairs.
No, not yet.
That our whole party can all hang out in, and I will spend $200 and just relax there. I'm fine with it.
It's a date, Joel.
We got to make it happen. When it opened, World of Color was still closed. It was not back from its exceptionally long refurbishment. And I still don't know what they're doing for when World of Color goes, because I still really want to watch from that patio World of Color. I feel like it would be, even though I know you're watching from the side and it's obviously you can't really see the screens well, I don't care. Just to be close.
You've got the music.
On that spot with a drink would be a really cool spot to watch.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can do that, all of us there someday.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I'm just really impressed with everything that they did with that whole area. Like, aside from Cove Bar, they really plussed it by adding Lamplight Lounge and just making it a whole lounge area. And so, yeah, kudos to Disney.
That's the only good part of Pixar Pier.
True.
Agreed.
And keep in mind, this was Ariel's Grotto before, and it was something that I really had no desire to go to, and it's not something I would be going to frequently, even if I had a kid that wanted to go to character dining and so forth. But it now having this to be something where I want to go all the time and just sit at the bar downstairs and look out at the water, which is actually pretty easy to do, not usually that long of a wait to do that, which it's just really nice. And you can get some great food there. We could go over all the great food and the types of drinks there, but I mean, there's just so much. Everything there is pretty original, and even the food is pretty unique as well. So I definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't already, and consider it as being an option for your next Disneyland trip. We'll move across the performance corridor over to Sonoma Terrace. So this is not really a indoor lounge or bar, truly. It's just a beer and wine spot, and they have some pretzels and a few other small snack items there. But
They
I think
do
this
have
is
pre-mixed cocktails there.
they do now, yeah.
They do. They're not very good, but they do have them. Too sweet because they're pre-mixed,
But I mean, this is, I think, should be near the top of my list because I've spent so much time in this spot.
100%. Like when if I want to be drinking outside somewhere, like almost more than anywhere else, this is where I want to be doing it. Sometimes you get the live music there. And I always just get a beer there, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but you just sit out there and there's plenty of seating. They have like those sofas out there now if you want to do that, or they just have
They remodeled the whole area.
Tables and
I love all the trees.
It's just a really nice area, and there's great people watching because you can kind of look in or you can look out along that performance corridor and people watch, and it's a great spot.
Yeah, and I mean, for you could even have you have your daughter that was able to kind of just run around.
There's lots of space and
place to hang out, and you really can sit there for a long time and not feel guilty about it as you would like maybe in a real lounge, because you can just sit there without a drink and just relax, and usually in the shade. It really is a good spot. And even though it's grown with popularity over time, because before no one really went down there, you can still go there except for during like food and wine. You can still go to Sonoma Terrace and wait in pretty much no line and get a beer. They have a good selection of beer on tap and by bottle. The selection doesn't change much, but it is a good variety.
Well, one that I know that they used to have. I think that the brewery actually stopped making this, but this is the first place I've tasted the Velvet Glove. Have you guys had that? It's a dark beer. It's kind of like a Guinness. I loved it, and I had such a fun memory with our friend Brian. So shout out to Brian if you're listening to this episode.
What?
He turned me on to that beer, and it was actually a really great one called Velvet Glove.
And high in alcohol percentage too, I believe.
Yes, that made it that much more fun.
Yeah.
I did try a lot of new things at Sonoma Terrace, so I will give it that, because a lot of it is craft beer. So it's kind of like not stuff you would see normally. So you kind of have to be adventurous. And I have some really new favorites that I've gotten from there.
Nice.
Plus, they've got that baked brie.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I forgot about
Kept
that.
it.
Oh, that is probably the best part.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
so
the
good.
best part of Food and Wine Festival because it stayed.
Oh, it did.
Yeah. Oh, ooh, I could use some of that right now.
We try to make it next episode, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a recipe online somewhere. Well, let's venture across the Esplanade over to
Wait.
Disneyland. What?
You missed
Wait.
one.
What did I miss?
You missed Rita's Baja blenders.
Oh, yes. Yes, there
Which-
is also Rita's Bars.
I am not a fan of because I don't like blended drinks, but I just wanted to mention it only because I had happened to come across the price of the margaritas. So for those of you who don't know, it's right there on the wharf. It's kind of like right in the middle of it. And basically all they serve are pre-blended margaritas, kind of like Fat Tuesdays, right out
a
of
very red, orangish building now.
Yes.
I didn't know why they did
And
that.
a little extreme on the paint job. Anyway, sorry.
No,
Continue.
that's okay. So I was able to find the price of a Rita's margarita in 2002
Ooh,
was $5.29.
Oh man.
Now in 2020, I had to go check. It's $11 if you want to get just a pre-mixed drink.
Dang.
And if you want to get the grand margarita, which has the splash of liqueur on the top, it was $6.29, and now it's $13.
To be fair, those 2001, 2002 prices
Oh,
for
they
alcohol were
Crazy.
underpriced.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Because you could get beers under $6. In a theme park, you would think, I mean, it's just that was a normal price at any restaurant was
Yeah.
$5.75. But the fact you go to Disneyland or California Adventure and get same thing for the same price, if not cheaper in some places, it was a little underpriced.
I'm just saying the $11 now for just the plain old margarita, like there is almost zero alcohol in that. Like you
Yeah.
it's just be getting a slushy for
Just
$11. Yeah.
I will say though, I mean, as much as we rag on it, I feel like the margarita stand is like the rite of passage for like Disney like annual pass holders who have, you know, they just turned 21. It's your first trip to the park. It's like,
Mhm.
I need to go to the margarita stand, because I'm pretty sure when I turned 21, one of my first places I hit up was probably the margarita stand.
Probably.
It's like the one thing everybody knows, because they know like it's probably something you're gonna like. You know, it's simple.
It's not too crazy. It doesn't gonna taste like alcohol if you're not used to tasting it. And yeah.
Well, I was going to come back and talk about my honorable mention for just bars. I was going to do it after Disneyland, but I'll do it now because it's the beer truck, or also known as the Pacific Wharf Distribution Company.
It's a good
Very
one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's an original attraction, just like the margarita stand. And really nothing has changed except for the prices at the beer truck. And number one fan, Nick, has my favorite shirt of all time. And it's a little bit different now, but it says, "Why is there no fast pass for the beer truck?" I love
It's
that
always
shirt.
got a line too. Like
Yeah.
there's always a line there.
There's now mobile ordering for it, which is nice, and it does actually work. However, if you're going to mobile order, make sure there's more than one cast member at the truck. Otherwise,
It takes forever.
what's the point? Well, I mean, then you're really screwing the other people
Yeah.
because they have to completely stop and help you out just because you were savvy to the online ordering.
Well, that's their fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Pay attention. Pay attention. I feel
And
no
with the times.
I will walk by and slowly sip my beer as I'm watching all of them in line.
Yeah.
I was
I
gonna
can't-
say I
ahead.
do like that it's centrally located, like in the middle of the
Mhm.
food court, so everyone can get their own food, do whatever, and we can get beers on the side. And just kind of segueing to the past episode that you guys did, I wasn't able to join you guys, but one of the favorite things I love getting from that cart is the pretzels there, the cream cheese pretzels.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like those things are probably one of my favorite snacks, although they're just kind of plain. They're not the best ones on the list from what you guys had from last week, but that plus a beer is perfect. So
You're having a good day when you got
yes,
a cream cheese pretzel to beer.
And I can't count the number of times I have told people, meet me at the beer truck. Or I'm going to head
I've
over
been told
to the
that.
beer truck.
yeah, start off there.
That needs to be on a button.
Meet me at the beer truck.
Yeah. You need to make a
Yeah.
button with that on it.
Put it up. We're doing it. It'll be on sale end of this episode.
Ooh, wow.
Oh, quick.
Just tell Steven
Um,
real quick.
Strut.
Before we move on out of DCA, though, a couple things I feel like we need to mention is, even though they're mostly temporary, the bars in the back lot.
You
Mm.
mean the Badlands?
Hollywood Lounge.
Well, yes. Well,
Mhm.
what was it before? And then it was the
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 Matty
Electronica
Party,
Lounge.
Electronica.
Did it even need a name?
the Glow Fest, whatever it was
Right.
called. But those drinks, even though all pre-mixed,
Ooh,
those
they are
drinks, they were strong.
They pack
Yes.
a
Oh
punch.
my god!
So you do get your money's worth. at
You
least.
do.
Yeah.
and
do.
you got light up stuff.
Yeah.
Like what is it? The Digitini.
Oh yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
Digitini. Mm-hmm.
I guess the lesson is, if you're really looking to get some good drinks, you don't want to go to a lounge. It's the evening, maybe. You can head on down to the back lot. You could get some good, nice.
Will it
strong
be
drink.
too sweet? Yes. But will it be strong? double yes.
Yes.
So
And they do have beer there too. Some good
and
options.
I do like that now that, we don't have any parties back there anymore. And now, it is kind of it's permanent. I like that they rotate things now, and you get like seasonal drinks now. So like last year for Halloween, you had like caramel apple drinks, and Christmas you had like the eggnog drinks and stuff that. So I like that they keep that. So
yeah, you can get wasted and then ride Monsters Inc.
You could.
or Monsters After Dark, which we don't get to do this year.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring up all the items, but we're pretty much almost there to list every beer or every bar at California Adventures. So I guess we should have to add in Bayside Brews, because it is a good spot just to you want a mobile order now, because that line started to get pretty long there towards right before the closures. They do have some changing out handles, and they do have good options.
Face it, we like them all.
Yeah,
right,
we can't
that's
pick
why I
our
said
favorite.
we're not doing favorites. Because we will go to any of them and enjoy them.
I will find something at any of them.
Except for the next one. Shall we move on to the across the
let's
way?
do it.
Do we have to?
Yeah. There's some upsides to it. There's some positives. So let's talk about Oga's Cantina over at Galaxy's Edge. So it doesn't help that when we first experienced Oga's Cantina, it was shortly after the land opened. So it was immensely popular, extremely busy and crowded, and they overfilled the place because the only way to get to the majority of the people, or at least a lot of people that wanted to go, is to kind of overfill that bar. The only problem is, this is probably my fault, I didn't know that there's no seats in there. I mean, there's 6 booths, but you're likely not going to sit in one of those booths. So first time we go, we're just standing up. We get pulled in there, and you can chime in here as you see fit here, Derick and Matt. But we go in there, and they're telling us, okay, this is your area. You get the bar, but there's people standing in front of us. It's full. And they're like, but you can just squeeze in there and get your drink from right here, as though that's like our spot. I'm like, this is not a spot. It's a standing area behind a row of people. And it was extremely loud, very uncomfortable, and it was not what we were looking forward to. So I remember getting my first drink. I think it was the Jet juice. Was that what it was? The Jet? Yeah, it's bourbon, some chili liqueur. It has acai liqueur and white grape juice, some lemon juice. I was excited. It was basically a shot. It was so small, and it was, yeah. Matt's holding up a glass.
This would literally be that, and it would be like $20.
Yeah, it was a shot glass. It's $15. Guess I should have done my due diligence and asked. I would never order that again.
Well, and it's funny because I didn't even order anything, because I saw them bring your drink out, and I was like, I'm not paying
this.
Yeah, I'm like, hell no. I'll go get
That's
some.
why I stick to beer whenever I go now. I've only been a few times, but they do have some fun names, and here's the plus side. The experience is cool if you know what you're getting yourself into. And now, like, I've gone for breakfast now, and it's not as crazy.
Breakfast beer.
Yeah, no, I actually got breakfast food, and I don't think I got a drink. Maybe I got a drink, but it's getting better. I really will only be a fan of it once they put some stools in there.
I went for the first and only time in February. And it was still incredibly crowded. I think we were there at about like 11:30. It was incredibly crowded, and I had a 4-year-old with me. And I did not like standing at a bar in my 20s, and I hate it even more now.
You're right.
So I'm like, this is just not my scene. I loved DJ Rex. Like, that whole thing was really cool. I just wish I could have sat down to enjoy it, especially since, so they have drinks that are non-alcoholic, well, for anyone who doesn't want to drink, but I got one for my 4-year-old, and like, I had to like hoist her up, try to give her this incredibly awkward shaped glass drink for her to try to drink, and then put it down, and then try to drink my drink. And if I put her down, she just had like a bar in front of her face. So it was definitely just like, it's
you
definitely
can't have a 4-year-old at the bar.
And like, I didn't.
That's where they stood.
That's where they put us. Yeah, and they're like, you have 45 minutes. Go. I was like, okay. So I mean, I would love to go and enjoy it, and I think it could be enjoyed. Just it has to be a much different experience.
Yeah, there's great theming. The drink names are fun. I mean, the fuzzy tauntaun.
That's what I got. I had to get it to like experience the numbingness. It was very interesting.
It is very numbing.
Yeah.
I don't need more of it, to be honest.
They were like, "Don't put your nose in it." So they told me, "Do you know about this?" I'm like, "I know it numbs you." They're like, "Okay, don't put your nose in it." I was like,
"Oh,
okay, is that a thing that happens?" So
Why? Would just make your nose numb?
I guess it makes your people like maybe they inhale it. I'm like, I don't know, but I did not try. I didn't want to find out.
Maybe I should go back.
Try it. Yeah. Just snort some foam.
Yeah. I'm just imagining it's like a lidocaine foam.
It's like that peppercorn. Like I think it's like some sort of peppercorn that like makes your mouth. I don't know. It's something weird.
Like pepper spray?
Not pepper spray. It's like I don't know what it is.
Whipped asper cream.
Yeah. I just remember it being like not a fun experience. I don't even remember what I ordered, Joel. But yeah, I remember that specifically. Like, we waited so long, and to be ushered in there without even, being brought all the way up to the bar and telling us, pretty much you're fending for yourselves in here. It was just kind of a weird experience. And I'm glad to hear that it's kind of gotten more quiet a little bit because, yeah, I remember, we went in there.
I wouldn't say quiet, manageable.
Manageable. When we went in there with Braden and he immediately turned around because it was just too overwhelming,
Yeah.
I really don't know why.
During COVID.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they made it so small. Did they underestimate how popular it would be?
There was supposed to be a full sit-down restaurant next to it, and that could still come. The landing pad, the area is still there for that. But you're right, it is small, and we'll discuss it in a little bit. The same issue with Trader Sam's. Like, why is it so small? Did you think only 15 people were going to want to go in this bar at all times? It's kind of odd. But you're right, and they do have fun drink names. I'm going to continue on with just a few of these because we had Jedi Mind Trick, the Yub Nub, Coruscant Cooler. I'm not going to pronounce some of these correctly, so maybe I shouldn't have done it. The Dagobah Slug Slinger.
Dagobah.
Oh, that was horrible.
See, yeah. Take my Star Wars card away. T16 Skyhopper and Outer Rim. Is it Takodana Quencher? Did I say that correctly?
I think so.
All right. Somebody can correct me.
We're going with it.
And there's some good beer options too. I mean, there's 4 beers on tap there, but here's the issue. We're now getting into prices where it makes me completely turned off from ever wanting to get a beer. There's a beer, the White Wampa Ale, for $14.25. It's only 4.5% alcohol, and it's a freaking hef. It's a Hefeweizen, and it's $14. Where now it's getting to the point. Disney is pricing me out when it comes to my beer intake, which is probably good because now I'll just have one and make it count. But it's getting kind of frustrating. But anyway, so that's Oga's, and I think we'll move on over to the resorts. We'll start off not so great side. We'll start off the Surfside Lounge, the Paradise Pier Hotel. I have gone here actually quite often lately, just because when the parks are really busy, this is an area that still nobody knows about. And I think a lot of people aren't going there too because it's not that impressive. It's not
very themed.
Not very themed. It's lightly themed.
It looks kind of like a mall almost, like a food court of a mall.
Yes.
To me.
You could easily theme it to like an 80s mall court.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they do some fun stuff in there, and their food is actually still good. And this is right off the lobby, which is not really a lobby in Paradise Pier Hotel, but it's right next to that area. And what's nice is you can sit at the bar, and really, I think you're always going to be able to find a spot there. So if you're just kind of wandering around and tired of your options at Disneyland or at California Adventure or anything else, and everything's just really busy, just meander on over to Paradise Pier Hotel. You should probably be able to get a good seat there and some good food too. We'll move on to the lounge at Steakhouse 55 at the Disneyland Hotel. This is a bar, as you can imagine, right in front of the Steakhouse 55, which used to be called Granville's. And it is also right next to Goofy's Kitchen, so be aware that there could be some crazy scene next door with some kids or crazy adults. But it is. There's comfortable chairs. There's a TV in there. It is a nice, usually quiet spot, especially if you go a little bit later. The only problem is it closes early. Pretty much every time I've been there, it's closed rather early, and I basically end up closing the bar because it's like 9 o'clock, and like, oh yeah, we're done. I'm like, what? Well, okay, thanks. But it is a good spot, especially if you just want somewhere different, or if you're not going to the parks and you just want to go down to the hotels, and maybe you go to Trader Sam's and it's too busy. I've jaunted on down to the lounge at Steakhouse 55 often because other options were too busy. Yeah, you are inside air conditioning, and you can look at some retro, which is not actually retro, just old, inside Disneyland Hotel convention area. Yeah. Then we'll move on over to Trader Sam's and Chanda Tiki Bar. You not have this on the list?
You got to have it on the list.
You got to have it on the list. And we've already talked. I already mentioned it earlier. It is a greatly themed, an amazing experience, but it is too small inside. But it is an awesome spot.
Wish I could go there one time when it was just like empty and just experience look and take in all of the details, because they have packed so much into that tiny space. They've packed so many references to attractions and movies, and just like packed so much into it. And I feel like you just don't get to enjoy any of it when you're in there. I'm also a person who I'm claustrophobic. So just being in there when it's full is not enjoyable for me. But I wish I could enjoy the inside of it more. I do enjoy the outside greatly.
Yeah, that's what's nice is they have realized that it is extremely popular, and they have expanded the sitting area outside to encompass where we used to be just Tangaroa Terrace area, and it's now become solely Trader Sam's area. So if you're sitting there, you really should, you're actually going to be waited on from Trader Sam's servers, opposed to just being able to bring your food over, because pretty much all those tables on the one side of the building were all originally part of Tangaroa Terrace. Now they are part of Trader Sam's. You've added a bar outside. Some can argue that the drinks are not as good as the drinks prepared indoors. I don't know how true it is. I have experienced some less than worthy drinks outside. I mean, I think you're still getting some good quality drinks outside.
Last time I was there, they had expanded the service around the fireplace. So you could always go to the fireplace, but it was hit or miss for service. But they actually had a dedicated server out there to take care of that whole area, which was really nice, because I always enjoy sitting in that area as well, because you can still hear the live music kind of float through, but you're not quite in all the hubbub of everything.
Yeah, and that's important to also bring up is the live music. They typically have Hawaiian music playing up until 10 p.m. I think every night up on the patio there, and there's tiki torches. You have that music going.
Yeah, the palm trees and
and even the sound of the waterfall going down the monorail slide at the Disneyland Hotel pool. It all really adds to the environment. But for myself and for us, it's nice for us locals, because I can go there and I can close my eyes or just kind of look up for a moment and take myself away. And so it's nice to be able to go there and think, hey, for a while, I'm just going to pretend I'm in Hawaii.
You almost feel on vacation. It's like when you live here, it's kind of like the one spot where you feel like you're on vacation and not just do the same thing that you do as a local and go to the parks, but it feels like a vacation in that spot, just like a little hour-long vacation for yourself.
I mean, and I think that's kind of what you expect from a resort. That's kind of my gripe with that whole area in general, is that it just feels so generic, and sometimes you don't feel like, even though we're all locals, that if we're visiting the place and, you're comparing it to other really grand hotels and the ones at Walt Disney World, you feel like it's a vacation spot. Like there's people enjoying their time there on vacation. And I feel like that area, what they did there with Trader Sam's and Tangaroa Terrace really does embody that. So I think that they did a really good job at that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we could talk for a really long time about Trader Sam's and go into the detail of inside, because they really did pack that place full of hidden little details, and they change it for the holidays too, and they add little details here and there too, which is really cool. Talk about it all day long, but we'll move on. Just right next door to Tangaroa Terrace Tropical Bar and Grill, which was originally just a Tangaroa Terrace Grill, but they've added the bar section. So they remodeled this area. It's really the same building. It's just kind of an extension now to Trader Sam's, in my opinion, but it is just a quick service spot. But now they have a bar there with some great fun tiki god style chairs up against a bar, and I don't think it gets as much appreciation as it should, because it is a really cool spot. Again, you're getting the same type of atmosphere, but you can sit at a bar now outside, and of course you can get all the delicious food from Tangaroa Terrace.
They have good food there.
I don't think I've been there since the remodel.
I have only eaten at Tangaroa Terrace. I had breakfast there, but I have not, I didn't go to the bar.
Yeah, I haven't sat at the bar either. And in the morning, of course, that area is closed off, but later on the day they open it up, and you can sit there if you want. But they did a really good job on capitalizing on as much space as they could for a small area, because before there was a little less dining, a little less seating area, and now they've added some large tables and not benches, but more seating outside.
And you can get the Dole Whip cocktails there, right? Like the Dole Whip with rum.
Yes, nice. I believe so. So you can get it there as well as the coffee house, but I believe you can get it at because there's a little walk-up bar there too to get Dole Whips. And I'm assuming you can get the rum ones too.
Is that where you got your tomato pancakes, Beth?
my guava syrup pancakes. Yes, that was where I got my fluffy Japanese pancakes with guava syrup.
Non-tomato.
It was so good.
Good to know.
Yum! I have not had that. I didn't even know that was on the menu.
Yeah, it's so good. They're really good. They're like those big fluffy ones that kind of like jiggle a little bit, and then they're like vanilla. They're so good.
And I love anything guava, so we'll have to
syrup.
go back.
It's good.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, we'll head on down to the Grand Californian now. We'll start at the Napa Rose Lounge. I think kind of not unknown, but a lot of people don't, I feel like, talk about it or go there often.
I feel like it's not the first thing that I think of, because it's not out there. It's not. Yeah. It's not
accessible.
Access. Yeah.
Yeah. And it is only open for dinner, I believe. And I'm not just talking about the outside portion, which is really my ultimate favorite area, this kind of hidden gem of Disneyland Resort. There is a patio at this lounge, and it is pretty small. There's a fire pit out there. You probably sit about 3 groups of people out there, and it just overlooks the other side of Grizzly River Run. So you're on the other side of the walkway, right outside of Napa Rose, and it's just open area with a lot of plants, lush area, and pretty quiet, and you can still hear the sounds of the park from there, but yet they don't really see you because it's kind of tucked away and hidden. And you can get a full menu service there. You can even just get an appetizer, get a cheese board, and they'll give you the bread.
That's all you need is the cheese board.
My whole list for this says great outdoor fire pit and cheese board. That was my whole notes for this bar.
It's really good.
That's all you need. That's good. And you can get the bread basket or whatever that comes with, which is a variety of breads. And obviously in great service, great drinks, and I am pretty sure the drinks are cheaper than Oga's and Lamplight Lounge. So
I believe it.
I don't want to bring it up because I'm afraid somehow this place is going to end up.
This is going to be our episode that blows up and is huge, and everyone's going to know about it.
Keep it quiet, guys.
Yeah. Well, I feel like more recently, Vicky and I went there, and we were sitting at the bar. We had a great talk with the bartender. We were getting some martinis, and I was floored with how good the pricing was. I was getting good quality martinis at a very reasonable rate, especially for a Disney rate. Mm-hmm. It was just like I was going to a normal fancy restaurant and getting a drink there. So it's definitely a good spot. Obviously, you may feel a little awkward being in there with just a
your
wife
park
beater.
Attire.
And but so I mean, you don't have to really dress up to go there, but you may want to wear something not
wife beater.
Yeah, there you go. That's the nicest way to put this. But it is a good spot, and yeah, can't wait to go back to that one. A newer one is the GCH, or Grand California Hotel, Craftsman Bar and Grill. So this is the newest bar. They took out a part of the pool, added in just some seating next to the pool area and this new little bar building thing, I guess. But there is a nice wraparound bar out there. They do have live music, and this is another place that has decided to up the ante with their pricing. So it is some pretty expensive cocktails, and you can get some pretty original stuff there, though, and top-notch quality items. Well, I think what's odd about it is if you're sitting there, you can just get up if you wanted to and jump in the pool.
Stick your toes in.
You could pull it off.
Especially
I'm sure
for a pool that was blocked, like they're
completely blocked. Yeah.
Yeah. All Disney pools are gated, and you have to show your room key to get in. And how interesting that that's not the case there.
Let me iterate. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. Yes.
If you're just going to eat there, you're not allowed to the pool area, but it is just open to go down there. So if your server or bartender is not paying attention, I'm not telling anyone to do this, but you could, in theory, go jump in the pool.
Or just sit and stick your toes in.
Yeah, or that too. Yeah.
Why don't they put in a gate or some planters or something?
Well, there's a gate to get into that area, actually. So when that bar is closed, that's where the gate is now. But when you go into the bar area, you can still get through because the people from the pool can come up to the bar and get drinks. And the servers are going from this bar and grill to serve the guests at the pool area.
I haven't been to this one yet, but I
have not either.
I'm very excited to go once everything reopens again, because I've been wanting to try it.
The sitting area, there's a trellis there again with some nice twinkly lights and some ivy growing across it. So it is going to grow in and look, I think, really nice. Right now, if it's a hot afternoon, I would not recommend it, because I've been there a couple times. It was really hot in the evening, and there was just no air movement, and it was very uncomfortable. So maybe you may want to venture off to our favorite location.
Let's talk about it.
Unless you want to talk about any other bars that we did not mention before we go into.
I don't even care about any other ones.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with regards to Craftsman, I have seen pictures of the cocktails, and they do look really pretty and very photogenic.
Yeah.
Instagrammable,
Yeah, Instagrammable, that's the word. So I am looking forward to trying it whenever
we'll get there. We will get there. But first we may go to the Hearthstone Lounge.
Home. It's home.
It's home. Home away from home. So we as a group here, especially, just us four alone, but even our extended group, we have all spent many, many evenings here at the Hearthstone, like literally the Hearthstone, and just sitting out there in front of the fireplace outside with your friends after spending all day on your feet in the evening with your favorite drink and some of that fantastic bar mix.
Yes, some of us do.
I knew it would be. Sorry for stealing your thunder.
No, it's okay. We all love it. So
yeah, it's a great spot, and we've seen that place grow up, right? We started going there before the expansion for the DVC side existed, and it was just a giant lawn of nothingness.
Yep, just a big field.
Yeah. And you could see DCA perfectly, and now it's all blocked off. But it's still a fantastic spot, and inside's good too. There's another fireplace that you can only seat 4 people around it, but there's a lot of seating inside, and they've tried to extend it too out to the kind of the walkway outside, because that place is starting to fill up. It probably won't be utilized too much for a while, but there's so much to love about the Hearthstone Lounge.
Oh, it truly is. Like, so many of my fondest memories of hanging out with you guys is there afterwards, just sitting there and shooting the shit and talking and bonding. Like, it's just like, It makes me want to cry right now just thinking about it. But it really is. For so many years, I always try to have a day. My birthday's in December, so we usually try to go see the Christmas decorations and spend a day together sometime around my birthday. And we always end there. And it's just, it does not feel like my birthday unless I've like spent a whole evening outside in front of the fireplace and getting warm after it's rained all day or whatever. And after I got engaged, we went there and hung out, and it's a good spot.
It's definitely a staple of ours. And I am fond of all those memories, Beth, of your birthdays. And I just remember, being so excited for all of our birthdays, really, but yours in particular, just spending the whole day there because we knew we would end up at Hearthstone and just, enjoying the evening and just not even caring about what time we ended, just hanging out and enjoying our time.
Yeah, just being able to have that, that connection with you guys there is just really special.
And even for those that have been here, any of our listeners, I'm sure you can hear it right now when I bring it up. The hum of the fireplace.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I can hear it right now. I mean, it's a gas fireplace, but as soon as you turn that corner and you can see that fireplace there, you hear that hum. And it's like really peaceful and relaxing, kind of this white noise in the background. And even if you see another family there, they're usually pretty quiet too, and they're just relaxing.
And it's so big. Like you could just take a corner and they have plugs out there. You charge in your devices, recharge from the day. And
the rocking chairs.
The rocking chairs,
chairs.
My favorite.
I always like to literally sit on the hearth itself and just kind of stretch out and just take up that area. It's good. We've brought board games there before. And just played board games, and it was just that's so great.
I've gotten kicked out of there from security because we were there too late. We stayed too long. And security's like, "Are you guys staying here?" Like, no, just hanging out. They're like, "No, yeah, you guys got to go." Like, okay.
They're like, "It's 3."
Yeah.
It's the point where you don't have to pay for parking anymore in downtown Disney because they all went home.
That's maybe why I waited so long. I was like, we're gonna wait till after 11 so we can get through that.
That was a hack.
Yeah. Well, shall we call it last call? Was there anything else you wanted to discuss? Oh, this was good, guys. I appreciate us being able to go down some memories and reminisce of our favorite bars. And what's nice is that we can hopefully still get back to these places soon. And we really look forward to it. Well, until our next happy hour, you can find us online. Derick, shall you do the honors?
Sure. Yes. Come find us, guys. We'd love to hear from everybody. And so you can find us all on Twitter and Instagram. For our group, it's simply @OffHarbor. And for myself, you can find me on Twitter @Esplanade. You can find Matt on Twitter @ST1401 to Endor and on Instagram @Lightspeed to Endor. Beth is on Twitter and on Instagram @PixieDustVibes. And Joel is on Twitter and Instagram. He can be found at @TangaroaJoel.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Derick. And also, of course, you can reach us by email at podcast@offharborandmaine.com. So this is a moment we kindly ask every week. If you're enjoying it, please share the podcast. And hopefully you can consider leaving a review or a rating if you're listening on Apple Podcasts as well. Ladies, gentlemen, people, remember, we have the strength. We can change the world together. Build a stairway to the stars we can climb. On behalf of the birdies, flowers, and tikis here at Off Harbor in Maine, farewell and aloha to you. Stay well and cheers.
Cheers.
I'm Joel Covey, and I'm joined by my close friend. God damn it.
I went to go unlock my phone to get the Google Docs.
So and Instagram video was still going?
Yeah, it was that damn WAP video. It's still playing.
Yeah, and some ASMR ice cubes. Oh, that melted already, but
you don't hit the mic with the with the drink.
What, he you already recorded one episode. He said he's already drunk.
Yeah, that's true.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I think you said build a stairway to the stairs.
Yeah, he did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Why didn't you stop me there? It's so good. I'm going to say the whole thing again.
Let's say the whole thing. Yeah.